Arsenal's problems have been laid bare over the last few weeks, and if they are going to end the season as Premier League champions, they need to sign a few players this month. Against Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup, Mikel Arteta's men were left to bemoan some awful finishing from Kai Havertz, who notably glanced an effort off his shoulder wide of the goal from a few yards out. It was Havertz again in the FA Cup a week ago, skying the ball over the bar when it looked easier to score, while they were nearly left to rue some poor finishing against Spurs in the North London derby. They did at least come through that one. However, just when you think they found their mojo again, going 2-0 up against Aston Villa, the result was taken away from them after some uncharacteristically bad defending. Still, bolstering the forward ranks should remain the #1 priority this month. Arsenal's plans to sign a new striker. The man who everyone wants right now is Alexander Isak. The Newcastle forward is one of the most informed center forwards on the planet, scoring 11 goals in his last 10 matches in all competitions. He's been regularly linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium, but with the Toons slapping a £150 million asking price on him, any move is incredibly unlikely. Alternatives are required, therefore, and in Benjamin Sesko, a man described as the new Erling Haaland by scout Jacek Kulik, they may have their man. Sesko was the subject of interest from the Gunners over the summer, but ultimately signed a new contract with German club RB Leipzig. A move in 2025 feels more likely, but will it be done in January or the summer? Well, according to The Sun, Arsenal are now weighing up a massive £70 million bid for the striker this month, as Arteta aims to bolster his side. The Mirror also goes as far as to suggest he's already said yes to joining the Gunners, with a willingness now on the player's side to move. Why Benjamin Sesko could be Arsenal's very own Alexander Isak. In January 2022, Arsenal were reportedly looking at a move for Isak, who was playing for Real Sociedad at the time. Boasting a release clause of £75 million, the Gunners thought it sat above his market value, and instead, they ignored a move and preferred other options. Just a few months later, he moved to St. James Park in a deal worth around £63 million, and since then, it's safe to say Arteta and co will be regretting their decision not to shell out. While at the time Isak was hardly prolific, scoring 11 in 29 matches the season prior to moving to England, he has blossomed into one of the most feared forwards on the planet, finding the net 17 times in 24 games in 2024-25. At the time of the move, the exciting Swede was just 22 years of age. He is now 25. Coincidentally, Sesko will be 22 by the time the summer window arrives. He's also performing better at a similar age, suggesting that in a few years' time, he could live up to the rave reviews he's being given. Described as a monster by data analyst Ben Madison, this is a player who, if you invest in now, has a high chance of turning into something incredibly special. He's at the point in his career, as Isak was when Arsenal rejected him, that he's still learning his craft, but he's showing traits that would tick a lot of boxes for Arteta. The Slovenian is tall, he's strong, and he's one of the most incredible strikers of a ball in European football. Just look at the goal below. So, how did Sesko compare to Isak at a similar age? We've compared the Newcastle Stars' 2021-22 season with the RB Leipzig striker's current campaign. So, it's an interesting set of data with Sesko confidently the more prolific player when they were at the same point in their career. Isak does appear to be the more creative and is likely to beat a man with greater regularity, but the fact that the Slovenia international is already such a brute in the air and boasts immense physicality makes him look as though he could be tailor-made for the Premier League. He is no doubt still incredibly raw, but Arsenal must learn from their lesson of not advancing with a move to sign Newcastle's star man a few years ago. They were made to pay the price then and must not pass up on Sesko.